All right. Hey guys. Hey Ben. What's going on? I just wanted to basically interview Ben, one of my top performing students, especially as of recently, in the Remote Sales Academy, because Ben and I started working together not long ago at all, really, about 2 or 3 weeks ago. And to be honest, I think Ben has a great story, and I think a lot of people, deserve to kind of see it because in like high ticket sales and remote closing, I think for me, the biggest thing that I found is the more people that I found that actually have a background in just doing something very normal, right? And I like to talk to most of the students to represent that I'm just a guy, right? I'm just a guy that figured out high ticket sales. I worked really hard to get to where I wanted to go. I think Ben's background, like Ben's story from where he's come from, especially being so young as well, I think it's definitely something really, really cool that I want to share with more of you guys as the audience, right? So let's start from the beginning, Ben. So obviously, we like where did you find me? Like, I think we messaged on Instagram, but like, where did you find me before that?
Yeah, so it all started on Twitter. I was first got into what they call it money Twitter.
Mm,
I was scrolling Twitter and was following a few sales guys and just stumbled across a few fellas down in Melbourne. And then previously I was already looking into sales. So then I saw your name pop up and then I went on to Instagram and I was looking at your Instagram. Firstly it was Twitter. Money Twitter
mm.
was gold and come across your page and then went on to Instagram and the rest is history.
Yeah, random. Yeah. Where did you find me on Money Twitter specifically?
I think it was to do with Jackson. It was when you guys first met up. Well, not first met up, but when you met up in Melbourne. It was like
Mm,
all the chads descending on Melbourne.
mm,
And yeah, I saw a video with Oscar, an interview with
mm-hmm.
Oscar, and talking with Jackson, and
Yeah.
heard you talking about sales and that, and yeah, it was pretty interesting.
Nah, that's cool, man. That's all the Australian guys, Money Twitter. That's super cool. Okay, so let's talk about, before high ticket sales, before you kind of, started working in the academy, started, working together with me. Like, what were you actually doing before all this? Like, what was your career trajectory? What were you doing? What were you going to do the next couple years before even thinking about sales?
So before this, I was actually a refrigeration and air conditioning mechanic working in rural Victoria. And I've been doing it for just over 4 years, fully qualified. And it was just going down that same path of what everyone else was doing, being a tradie, waking up, hating work, coming back, hating work. And it was just this constant repetitive cycle of, just looking for something else and looking to grow and expand. And, being a refrigeration mechanic isn't, you're just another number in the system. You're just going to be another tradie doing this, doing that. There's not much respect from the clients. There's not much respect from your boss. You're just another tradie. And look, the career trajectory over the next couple of years, it was just going to be doing the same thing. Hoping I get a raise from my boss, hoping I can
Mm,
move into a house, hoping I can do this, do that, or hopefully I have some spare time on the weekends to do this or do that. And then you're on call. And yeah, look, as I said, it's just this very repetitive cycle. And I know every single tradie goes through it. They constantly think about doing something else and taking that next step. And, I just wasn't going to be another number, another tradie hating his job. That just wasn't going to be me. It's very easy to see your career trajectory as a tradie. You're doing the
mm.
same thing all the time. And to me personally, it just bored the shit out of me. I couldn't bear the fact that I knew exactly what I was going to be doing for the next 2 years. And yeah, it's not fun.
I mean, you obviously worked extremely hard to get to where you'd gotten. So did you say you were like fully qualified?
Yeah, fully qualified. So the certificate was 4 years in total. So I think
Mm,
I did about 4.5 years. Yeah, it was just over 4.5 years. So yeah, as you said, I'd work pretty hard to get to that point.
yeah.
And it was always chasing that goal. Oh, once I get qualified, everything will change. I'll get a pay rise and I'll be respected by my boss, and I'll be able to do so many more things when I'm qualified. And it's just a false summit. You get qualified,
Yeah.
you've been chasing this goal for 4 years, and then you get qualified and nothing changes. So then you almost get to this point where you feel lost and you're like, well, shit, it's all just been a bit of fairy dust, sort of chasing this imaginary goal that really doesn't change anything at all.
Yeah, no, I totally understand that. And I hear that that was pretty similar, the same experience I had as well, except it was a lot easier for me considering I was working a pretty cushy type of job. Now, for anyone that's listening, probably like the US based UK or European who's not Australian, tradie, as we were talking about before, it's like a tradesman here in Australia. So like builder, like plumber, painter, all that kind of stuff. I was a lot more in a cushy job in retail, right? So like that was a totally different story. For you, like the type of income that you were going to earn or the potential that you could earn doing what you're doing, like what would that have looked like, either current, present as you were doing it, and then in the future as well?
So qualified refrigeration mechanic, you can earn decent money, not enough money to retire in a couple of years or travel the world and live comfortably. But it's probably low, I wouldn't even say six figures as a refrigeration mechanic. Probably 30 to $40 an hour. But $30-$40 an hour, that's good. People would think, oh, that's still good money, but it's not. You don't have any spare time. You don't have any time on the weekends even, and you're still very tied down. So look, refrigeration mechanic is considered one of the higher paying trades, basically. But at the same time, you're working an incredible amount of hours and an incredible amount of physical labor to earn that type of money.
Yeah, and that's a very, very common misconception of, I know a lot of people that might do pretty well in their career. They might make above six figures quite young, right? But they're sacrificing one for the other, right? They're making good money, but they're either hard at work with really, really like intensive physical labor, or they're on demand, right? They're trying to climb the corporate ladder, right? And they're working endless amounts of hours for an okay amount of pay, but like they're sacrificing their relationships, their health. They feel like shit all the time. Like it's just not really that ideal. And so for you, I guess I'm very curious on, because your transition to getting a role is really, really quick, right? And I want to talk a little bit more about that. So what I've found is definitely some of the best students personally that I've taught, and I know through myself, is speed is a really, really big part of this. I noticed that obviously once you got inside the training program, you just went and kind of got after it. And that's in the training. What I talk is to be best like, right? That's the people who win and do very, very well. What do you feel, if anything, was maybe the limiting beliefs or the mindsets that you had or you held while you're working your previous career doing what you're doing?
Yeah. So limiting beliefs, number one, I would have to say was just generally achieving the result. There's not a lot of, as I said, the first limiting belief would generally be achieving the result. From where I am, the people I've grown up around, just generally my parents, the people you go to school with, you never hear or see anyone in the online industry, online entrepreneur space that makes a ton of money. It's not common. You've never seen it in person. You see it online, but you never actually really believe. It's all, majority of it's online. And yeah, look, I think coming from a trade background, not being considered as intelligent or good with writing or books just because you didn't go to university or you didn't do exceptional at school. That was probably another limiting belief, but I knew, I had the work ethic to learn. And as long as you're open to learn, it doesn't matter if you're not good at writing or reading or just in general onboarding information, it's just within the first week, that limiting belief was crushed, because it doesn't matter what background you come from, the sales and learning this information is not hard at all, basically.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. It's I like to say the same thing over and over again. Like it's simple, but it's not easy. But like as long as you're willing to get after it, just like you have, like you've absolutely crushed it. Because to put things in perspective for everyone listening, Ben has come from, a background where, again, You're surrounded by these circles that don't really have any exposure to making an income online. So it seems so far impossible, right? And it might be to somebody listening to this right now. I'm here to tell you that it's not, right? You just need the right guidance, you need the right structure, you need the right strategy. And the great thing about sales is you don't have to start your own business, right? But it's also, it doesn't discriminate, right? It doesn't matter about whether you're a dude or a chick. It doesn't matter your race. It doesn't matter if you've even got broken English, right, as your second language. We have students that, like Lucas, that do like 15K a month USD, absolutely crush it. And that's English is his second language, right? So I think it's a big thing for like belief shifting. And I think for you, talking about the role that you got. So in the timeline that you started working with me, and again, I want to give credit where credit's due to Ben. He went out there and he got after it, right? I gave him a structure, right, quite loosely. But man, tell us more about like how you actually got a role, like what the role is, what you get, like what type of pay is, I guess, that you're on at the moment.
Yeah, so we'll start from the start. I think I joined on a Monday after the Friday that I left work.
Mm-hmm.
Went through all the coursework, smashed through it, just revised.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I think it was the Friday. It was the Thursday lunchtime, Thursday afternoon. You sent me a video with a general structure, how to find a job. And then Friday, Saturday, Sunday, it was, told myself, well, let's really give it a shot, lock myself in the office, and probably 3 days of just hard focused work, really locking in the zone, and just general hunger for a role. And within 2-3 days after that, to this day, I've probably had 20 plus people got back to me wanting interviews, or generally just referring me to, head of marketing or whatever to sort of book in speaking. And I was going through and really looking for the best role I could, and come across a role that was the company based here in Australia, that were providing extensive training, support, and everything in the job sort of was very, very likable. And I did everything I possibly could to land this role. Not just one message, send your resume, and that's it. You've really got to put in the work and stand out and be unique. And, as you say in the course, you outreaching to these companies, if you're going to be a good salesman, you've got to learn to stand out and be unique. And that's exactly what I did. You got to go above and beyond to reach these people. And that's what I did. And surprise, they were blown away by the outreach. Landed an interview the next day. I sort of forced him on an interview. But, that's what you got to do. And yeah, the next day, 8:30 in the morning, jumped on an interview with him. And sold myself to him, as you say to do, and it worked. And now I've got an incredible job, working fully remote, flexible hours, very, very generous bonuses and commissions. And yeah, look, it's I've straight out of the gates, I landed a $80,000 base salary with commissions on top of that, ranging from 90 to 100,000 on target earnings. That's excluding commissions.
Yeah.
And I just want to say to the people listening, from where I came from, I have now 2.5, if not 3x my income in the matter of a week. 2-3 days of just head down work, locking myself in this office. And that's all it takes. That is literally all it takes. And I think I've said to you, within those 2 to 3 days, I was thinking, reaching out to all these people, I wonder if it'll work. And then bang, I hit a gold mine. All these people reach back, and limiting beliefs were just crushed. 3 days, mindset completely shifted just by trusting the process, trusting yourself, and just genuinely going for it. And it worked.
Man, so sick. And it's just like, I think I spoke to you about this over the phone when you landed the role. It's like, how's it feel, man, that you can literally just spawn money into thin air? Like you just went from where you were before, just to like pretty much making 6 figures as a 21-year-old, right? With no skills, no prior experience, nothing, just pure hunger. Like how did that feel?
That was the answer to all of my questions that I've had for the past 2-3 years. It was seeing, as we were saying before, you see all this stuff online, you see all these people talking about it working, never seeing it in person. And then in the matter of a week, printing money out of thin air, going out there and just taking it, just going, I want this, so I'm going to have it, taking it. It just, as I said, being a tradie, being a 21-year-old just absolutely destroys your limiting beliefs and shows me that whatever I want in the future, I'm going to go and take it. There's no thinking, oh no, I'm not going to be able to earn more money now, or like I wonder if it'll work or not. That's gone. As soon as you see it works, especially in my position, dude, I know I'm going to print more money out of thin air. That's just how it is. And it was magical, dude. It's an incredible feeling that a 21-year-old should, it's a feeling I wish whoever's listening right now could experience, because it definitely works.
Yeah, totally, man. And it's just so awesome to see that, because I remember the first time I made my first sale, I made my first dollars online. It was just crazy to me. Like it was insane. I think I was like 19 or 18 at the time. And to put it simply, obviously, the big thing with a lot of, I guess, people in this industry that are helping people like yourself do this type of, I guess, transformation is they always go, you have to do it in the high ticket industry. You always have to start in selling information online and for the coaches and things like that. For me, I'm just more of a proponent of, if you can get some type of casual, part-time, or even full-time role to transition out of what you're doing now to, something that's more safe, right? So you've got a salary, right? A really good salary. If you stuck the same path with your current role, which is fantastic, you can make over 6 figures in your first year in sales, which is, again, amazing. Plus, on top of that as well, for Ben, like, if he wanted to, he could go and travel to Bali, to be honest with you, right? Because of his, remote work and aligning with the time zone still very close to Australia. So if he wants to, he has the opportunity to do that, which is really, really, really cool. Now, I guess talking just more about super open, raw, honest feedback of working with me, man. For people that are listening, what has it? I mean, literally, we've been working together for like 14 days, right? Or a little bit longer than that. So not very long, right? But after working together, what's your general feedback, your opinion, your perspective on what it's been like to work with me, going through the training, all that kind of good stuff?
I want to start off by saying this isn't just fluff. This isn't sort of talking up. It's generally, dude, it has been life-changing. The experience has been life-changing. Feedback, I want to start with communication. So firstly, the amount of communication, I've had with you is just, incredible, dude. Like, I'll message you, instant reply, if not a little bit after, but general feedback, man, it's been incredible. Even just from the sales training, the amount of value in the sales training for a beginner, a 21-year-old, is just incredible. And it's not just sales too, it's lifestyle, it's mindset principles. It's really starting you off on the right foot and, giving you literally everything you need to succeed. Here, I'm walking proof as a 21-year-old refrigeration mechanic, and the course is incredible, man. I can't even begin to, I've got too much going through my mind to say, but everything from the community, how welcoming and motivating the community is, even just down to, as I said, the communication, the resources that you've got in the sales training. It's been an incredible experience in these 14 days. And I think the best part about it, man, for me is, as you were saying before, you're just another guy. I'm just another guy. And the best part about it is you are incredibly relatable. It's like we're friends. It's not like you're my mentor, but it's like we're best mates. I can just message you and you'll give me an answer straight away. And the advice, as I said, the constant support, it's incredible, man. And I'm only 2 weeks in and I've already changed my life through your course. So absurd, bro. It's mental.
That's amazing, man. I really appreciate you saying that. Because I think the main purpose of what I'm trying to do here is, again, I don't want to be seen as a guru or a sales trainer or like it is what it is, like for me personally, it's majorly going to be around, well, I don't want to be some crazy guru guy, right? The only thing that I just want to help people, right? Because this is the exact same process and transformation I went through, like 4 years, spending 40K of my own cash out of my pocket in sales training to figure this stuff out. And for what some of the guys getting into the training right now for, it is just insane, right? So I'm really glad that you're getting that value. That's awesome, man. And just kind of tie things off, like if someone's listening to this right now, that's kind of sitting on the fence, right? They're not sure if they should get into high ticket sales, not sure if it's for them, um, or like they're just having second thoughts about the program or the training. Like, what would you say to them, do you think?
What I would say to them is sit down and just have a serious think. Myself and Connor are walking experiences that doesn't matter where you come from, who you are, the experience you have, it just works. And if it isn't enough proof that to young people, young men that have got into the sales industry and have figured it out, have made it work, then that's more than enough proof for me. And I think whoever is listening, all I want to say to you right now is that I was in your position, Connor was in your position. We are proof that we have made the decision. We jumped across that how do I say it? We made the decision, we made the leap, and this is what happened. You're not going to get anywhere by sort of sitting on the fence. And I think I know exactly what you're going through right now. I know exactly what you're thinking. There might be, thinking, oh, maybe it won't work for me. I might not, English isn't my first language. I'm not a good reader. I'm not a good writer. I'm not confident. That doesn't matter at all. I had all these things. I had all these thoughts. I had all these limiting beliefs. And within a week, all of them were gone. So all I can say to you, whoever's listening to this video, is I was in your position. This is what happens when you make the leap and you make the decision to actually go for it. And please take the leap. It is life-changing. It is everything you could ever ask for. And Connor is, more than you could ever ask for in terms of support. So look, just go for it, honestly.
Appreciate it, man. I think that's pretty much whoever's listening to this kind of needs to hear. So sweet. Well, look, let's start up there. Ben, thanks for joining me. You've been amazing to work with so far. Definitely been an outstanding student, which is amazing. And yeah, guys, we'll tie it off there. Hope you all are having an amazing week, amazing day, and I will see you